Hey guys, I'm Andre. I'm Hilton.
I'm Tristan.
And this is ATV. We're gonna be watching the Carnage vs. Lucy Death Battle. Yeah, which is from Elfenlight and Marvel, the sometimes villain of Spider-Man. And I've seen, well, obviously I know about Carnage. A lot of people probably do, but I've read Elfenlight.
Yeah.
I've only seen one scene that was really disturbing. And we're probably going to see some more disturbing scenes from it in this.
Why don't we just get right into it?
So
Yeah.
I think I'm the only person that knows about Elfenlight.
Yeah, I don't know that much about her too.
I just know Carnage.
I
don't know. Even though I say that, I kind of was skimming through it because I didn't care too much to actually take time to read it. So, but we're going to get straight into this.
Let's go.
Hey everybody, we have a brand new Death Battle t-shirt on the Screw Attack / Rooster Teeth store. Head to store.roosterteeth.com and you guys can pick one up. It's a great way to support the show.
Screw attack. Screw this attack.
If my ex-wives have taught me anything, it's that there's no real limit to crazy.
Like Carnage, Marvel's dangerously insane psychopath.
Or Lucy, the messed up murder lady from Elfenlight.
Elfenlied. It's German.
Yeah, whatever.
Elfenlight.
Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Another one.
Cletus Cassidy didn't have the chance to be a well-adjusted adult because his entire family was already crazy. While Cletus was just a boy, his father got sent to jail for killing his mother.
Which he did because she had tried to kill Cletus.
Which she did because Cletus had tortured and killed her dog, Fifi.
Well, go Miss Cassidy. All dog murderers deserve death, even if they're 8. Right, Jack Spaniels? Good boy. Oh, and Cletus murdered his grandma, too, because she's kind of a bitch.
He didn't stop there and wound up burning down his own orphanage. Years later, he was finally arrested and convicted for 11 murders.
You mean the 11 murders they knew about?
But while in prison, Cletus found that he wasn't alone. In fact, his cellmate just so happened to be Eddie Brock.
Who you may know is that creepy guy covered in black ink called Venom.
That ink is actually a symbiotic alien known as a Clintar. This symbiote bonded with Eddie, transforming him into a powerful and violent rival for the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But what Eddie didn't know was it was pregnant.
Oh.
Time to go out for cigarettes, Eddie.
Well, symbiotes actually reproduce asexually. When Eddie became Venom once again, the symbiote sort of oozed out its spawn and left it there.
Just like me and my dad. Well, this new symbiote immediately attached itself to Cletus, but unlike the Venom one, it merged through a cut on his skin, creating this suit made out of blood. Ew, that doesn't seem sanitary.
And together they became Carnage.
A fitting name for a psycho mass murderer. Cletus and his new symbiote quickly got up to what they knew best, creating maximum carnage. Remember that game? Great.
And with his new superpowers, he was a vicious force to be reckoned with. He has the same superhuman strength, speed, and durability as Venom, and supposedly even greater, like a Venom 2.0.
He can shapeshift to make all sorts of killer weapons, like axes, swords, and spikes. He can even rip those weapons off himself or launch them at his victims. Have you ever tried ripping your fingers off and throwing them at people? Because that's just kind of what Carnage does.
The symbiote can also reach out with dozens of chaotic, blood-soaked tendrils, perfect for strangling the people he doesn't want to see anymore. With a single touch, Carnage can infect a person with a portion of his symbiote, controlling or torturing them at his leisure. He has unbelievable regeneration, and even if somebody finds a way to disable his suit, the Carnage symbiote lives inside his bloodstream and can come back out through something as meager as a paper cut.
Also, the symbiote literally sees everything around it. It's kind of like wearing a suit made of eyeballs.
But let's say you're able to dodge his projectiles, outrun the tendrils, and get out of sight from the eyeball suit. You're still not safe. He will catch you, because he can sprout wings and fly.
What the hell? Since when?
Since realizing that shapeshifting is a really, really useful ability.
So he's able to fly, he's totally aware of everything around him, and he's full of blood. This guy's like a giant mosquito of death.
Sure. Carnage has said he's at least 10 times faster than the average van. But that's pretty modest, because Venom has shown he can move fast enough to catch up to a bullet after it's fired, and Carnage is frequently shown to be as fast or even faster than him. This puts Carnage over 1,500 miles per hour, over twice the speed of sound.
He's lifted a 50-ton tank, and he can overpower Spider-Man, whose best supported strength feat was lifting that giant machine thing that weighed as much as a 1965 locomotive.
Which would put it around 130 tons.
And you know those weird tendril things crawling around his body? When he wanted to find a missing journalist in New York, he climbed to the top of the Empire State Building and just stretched them all out over the city.
He found her by this coastline, and this building nearby looks a lot like the consolidated Edison plant between 14th and 15th Street. That's about 2 miles away.
And as a thank you for saving her, she shot Carnage in the head. Well, fine. Save your own ass next time, lady.
Hey, it was fine. Carnage's durability doesn't come from a sturdy build. Instead, his form is malleable and somewhat fluid. Technically, his human body still exists somewhere in that mass of blood, flesh, and writhing tentacles, but even when he's hit by a train, struck by missiles, or blasted apart by a tritium bomb, he can always just pull himself back together.
So long as there's a piece of him still around. Given the size of that blast, it looks like Carnage survived a blast worth 125 tons of TNT.
Damn.
Very impressive. Also, he once smothered and survived a gene bomb designed to wipe out all of humanity except mutants.
He's even survived being ripped in half and thrown into space. Seriously, what kills this guy?
Well, he does share the same weaknesses as other symbiotes, namely extremely loud noises and heat.
Well, until he traded the sound one for a weakness against some Cthulhu-looking magic.
Carnage has been through a lot, but with 2 minds as one, he always gets back up to keep doing what he loves.
Murder, murder, and, you know, more murder.
Carnage is chaos!
Pretty villainous.
There are some mysteries the world holds which no one is meant to know. Every day, something, somewhere, comes ever closer to destroying everything you hold dear.
Oh, no.
One such secret is the Diclona.
No big deal. They're just a race of crazy people who want to infect human beings to make more Dicloni and then wipe out all of humanity.
Jeez.
Oh, look at the cute little horns. They look like kitty ears.
To accomplish this, the Dicloni would have to rely on their queen, Cod, better known as Lucy.
Luckily for everyone, some important people figured this out and
Gosh,
captured her.
18.
And now it's time for your only warning.
Right, Lucy's methods, let's just say they're not for the faint of heart.
And let's also say that those lucky important people were about to get very, very unlucky.
Their heads always seem to come off or cover. Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ, what's happening?
To truly understand, let's take a step back. As an infant, Lucy was abandoned by her parents and left alone to suffer a life of constant discrimination.
It was the horns, wasn't it?
Right, even the average kid hates growing up in an orphanage, but it was especially painful for her.
Until she found a stray puppy and decided to take care of it. That adorable little critter and her became best friends. And then the other kids from the orphanage went out and beat it to death and forced her to
Why? What?
That's
Oh,
insane.
Yo,
No
I wanna-
shit, she wants to kill everyone. Go ahead, Lucy.
Yo, I would
Tear
friggin'
up those
punch-
little bastards.
Oh yeah, that kid is not gonna be good.
Whoa,
Oh.
damn.
This was the
That was
first
dark.
time Lucy unleashed her psychokinetic vectors. As a Diclonius queen, Lucy is meant to use these vectors to infect ordinary human beings with the Diclonius virus.
Oh, but she uses them for so much more.
See, everyone's
For
heading
simplicity's
heads
sake,
pop
think
out.
of the vectors as invisible arms which can sprout from Lucy's back.
Lucy can use up to 28 vectors with a normal range of about 6 to 7 feet. When she gets really serious, her horns grow and the vectors get way longer and stronger.
She can vibrate her vectors at different frequencies, and each level of vibration has different effects.
Kinda like that thing that my ex-wife had on the nightstand that I thought was one of those crazy pens.
At low frequencies, her vectors can pass through objects with no effect. At a medium frequency, the vectors become solid, like extendable hands, while still completely invisible. These can be used as shields and lift heavy objects.
It's
Oh
invisible.
man, if I had those things, I'd be messing with people all the time. like tying their shoes
I don't
from
understand
across
why
the
you would
room.
beat a dog.
Also, since this seems to be a thing in this episode, she can fly.
It's not really flying, she's just lifting herself off the ground. With the third frequency, Lucy turns her vectors into invisible blades. These can cut through people and
And that was
bend
his
metal.
little sister.
And with the last and highest frequency, Lucy gets explosive. No, really, at this level, they finally become visible and can strike with enough force to detonate. Damn, they don't call this chick the queen for nothing.
Unfortunately, Lucy is not always in control of what she does. Turns out she has developed several alternate personalities.
Yeah, getting shot in the head can do that to you.
That injury specifically created Mew, a passive, almost childlike persona which exists as a coping mechanism for Lucy's trauma.
Mew?
As Mew, Lucy would finally find friends and began forging a path toward hopeless redemption.
Unlike her third personality, the so-called DNA voice, which constantly whispers in her ear that she's got a job to do. Kill them all, Lucy, before they hurt more puppies.
She's just crazy.
She could do it too. Lucy's fast enough to block bullets from a point-blank range. And once, she actually saved herself from a bullet after she had already been shot.
Whoa.
As in, while the bullet was traveling between her skin and her heart.
It looks like she's getting shot by an MP5, which fires bullets at nearly 900 miles per hour.
With her body type, the distance between Lucy's skin and heart is less than an inch, probably around 2.4 centimeters. Given the bullet speed and the distance her vector would have to reach from her back before the bullet hit her heart, her vector had to move nearly 1,900 miles per hour. That's over twice the speed of sound.
She can throw a pen through a guy's skull. Brutal. And even toss this giant boulder.
When compared to this guy, Bando, whom we know is 6 feet tall, we can determine the boulder weighs about 75 tons. Her vectors are also tough enough to block a missile from the Air Force. While the exact model of missile is unspecified, it is fairly large and likely an air-to-surface type.
I bet it's one of the Air Force's SLAMs, or Standoff Land Attack Missile, built off the back of the Navy's Harpoon missile. In fact, a harpoon is used against a different Diclonius at one point. So this beast slammed into her vector at 500 miles per hour with a 1,000-pound explosive yield, and it didn't even phase her. Even without a vector shield, she survived a pretty nasty explosion herself, though it did knock her out.
Impressive, but how about the time she punched through an island? A strike literally compared to nuclear fusion. This kicked up a 100-foot tidal wave and a 9.2 magnitude earthquake. A level so high, there's only been 4 comparable quakes ever recorded.
Her vectors can be as wide as buildings and reach into outer space, except that's about when Lucy reaches her limit.
Right. As a Diclonius, Lucy has a few severe weaknesses. Her vectors can be nullified if she's struck in the forehead, or if one of her horns are broken.
Also, if Lucy pushes herself too hard, she starts to melt. Kind of like ice cream out in the Texas sun. It's not pretty. She's just a big puddle of goop with a face, but she's still a total badass, even at her meltiest.
While suffering agonizing pain, she was capable of single-handedly halting a massive military threat, while healing and protecting the person she loved most. Perhaps redemption wasn't so hopeless after all.
Hey, let's watch her kill some more people.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, you'd be crazy not to get in on this deal.
Okay, so
I don't know.
there are.
I
To me,
mean,
the only weakness with
Carnage is heat and stuff like
his
that.
durability is, no matter what, I'm guessing is going to be
Insane.
better than hers.
Because he's malleable.
Yeah,
How
you
can
know-
you cut him?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like even though they say like, oh, there's a human body in there,
Yeah.
and so that he can still regenerate, and even if that human body gets hurt, it will still heal.
Yeah,
And it doesn't really seem like she has anything like fire, sound, or.
Unless she gets a hand.
Well, there was
one.
the frequency, but I don't know if that is sound
Yeah,
wave
that's not-
frequency that can be also used. Yeah.
Lucy's
So
weakness.
I don't know if there's too much weaknesses against
It's just her
Carnage.
horn. So imagine Carnage goes for her head or something.
Yeah, so to me,
I don't know.
from how it seems, I'm gonna go with Carnage.
The only thing is like the fact of like the giant like
Attack power is a different thing, though. Attack power, she has the
upper hand. But when it comes to
When it comes to a few other
factors,
variables, like speed, one thing. I feel like they always do this, which
speed.
is the speed thing. Is that they're trying to make it seem hers is faster because she stopped it from her heart. But when you put together distance comparatively, is like they catch up to a bullet that's already been shot might actually be faster than stopping one that's right there.
That's like close.
And things so speed wise, he might actually even be faster still.
Yeah.
And that was literally moving towards it, not just stopping it or reacting to it.
Like moving in the exact same distance.
Yeah.
So,
alright, so what are you going over?
Carnage.
I'm going for
Also, I
Carnage.
like Carnage better.
Carnage. Let's
Yeah.
all lose, guys.
Let's all lose or win.
Alright.
Okay, so it's kind of sad that it's like this.
She's so innocent.
It's. I don't want to comment on someone's drawing and stuff, but for Deathbattle that's been going on for so long, it's pretty amateur.
Yes. Oh. Oh, he stopped him. Don't be that easy.
Just
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Oh, I just forget about the fact that they're visible also. So it's not like-
I didn't forget that. I still think that.
If one of them hits the weakness, it's over. That's it. Like if Lucy gets something deep. Gosh, dang. She's also one hit, think about it.
Yeah. Like, obviously, she's been hitting him a lot, but it doesn't matter if he hits her.
Uh-oh, he's like getting weak.
She can get extra damage.
She's going berserk mode. Gosh, damn. She's good at dodging. She's so good at dodging.
Doesn't hurt yet. Don't worry.
Oh,
I'll put you out of your misery.
what? What? Oh shoot! No way, guys.
I don't think she won. Just yet.
I mean, there's flames.
No.
Really?
We lost, guys! Woo! We did it together!
He really hates dog killers.
I guess
and
it's
for good reason.
cheap.
Carnage was a challenging opponent. It was incredibly difficult for Lucy to deal any lasting damage against him.
He had the durability
It was the
advantage
heat
in
from the
bag.
explosion,
Though
I
fighting
guess.
as a puddle proof, she could take a lot of pain and keep on
I
fighting.
didn't think about. I didn't know there was a train. Okay.
Pretty much everything else.
Right, Carnage was tough, but not invincible. Even his surviving that G-bomb isn't quite as impressive as it sounds. Since he had no other feats to even remotely back up planetary level durability, and the bomb was more akin to a biological weapon anyway. While Carnage's tendrils could pass speeds of Mach 2, Lucy's vectors once reached into outer space. By timing her accompanying monologue and comparing the longest vector's length to the curvature of the Earth, it's clear she reached over 2,400 miles in 20 seconds max.
Way longer than Carnage's 2-mile feet.
All this
I don't
means
think they
her vectors were
move
moving
that
at
fast,
least
but, like, they went
440,000 miles per hour. More than 500 times the speed of sound, and 250 times faster than Carnage.
Good luck getting past that. And this was really the biggest hurdle. With Lucy's ridiculous speed and Carnage's healing powers, it all boiled down to one thing. Who could hit the killing blow first?
That's it, right?
Carnage could respawn from scraps, so the only way to beat it
To me, I'm pretty
was
sure her
totally
speed
make
wasn't
right.
that
And
fast.
Lucy had the perfect answer to that.
Like, it's not that it
Remember time she
went
hit Tyler
and
so
grabbed,
hard she caused a 9.2
went that
magnitude
fast.
earthquake and a 100-foot tall tidal wave? Such a feat would require an enormous amount of explosive energy, approximately 31,000 tons of TNT, similar to the bomb that hit Hiroshima.
It's literally compared to nuclear fusion in the Elfin Light manga.
Elfenlied, it's German.
The point is, in order to beat Carnage for good, Lucy needed to totally obliterate him, and she could do that.
The heat produced within the initial impact of a nuclear explosion can reach temperatures up to 180,000 degrees Fahrenheit. More than 8
Yeah, I know
times
it's
hotter
probably
than the
the
surface of
heat,
the
but-
sun. And to top it off, heat was Carnage's biggest weakness. Even if Lucy's explosive force was just a fraction of this, it would still have been far too much for him.
She just needed to smack him before he could power through her vectors, which chances were pretty slim for that happening anyway, because there's a bunch of them and they're so damn fast. Hitting Carnage
The
with
speed
a big
is one thing I
explosion
don't
punch
agree
was
with.
way.
I didn't know why she didn't melt. I thought she only
That
and
her-
endurance,
like, it's the whole thing.
space-worthy speed, overwhelming presence, and nuclear strength won the day.
She dealt the Carnage needed for a total victory.
The speed is,
and
I feel, is the
took
one thing
lead.
I don't
There,
agree
instead
with,
of
whereas that
happy,
The
She's-
winner is
that
Lucy.
those things move that fast. But other than that, but even if they don't, the
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the fight, you can get a first membership and watch our commentary by clicking that box over.
Thank you, Chad. And if you want the battle music
I wanna
from this
see who's
episode, you
next.
can get it in the link in the description below. You're not Chad.
No way. It's what, Voltron? Oh, Gundam.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Isn't that kind of weird? Because one's a mobile suit and the other is just a regular robot guy. It's a living robot. Yeah.
That's, yeah,
I don't know.
prime.
But I don't know. I guess yeah, the heat was a thing. That's like
Yeah, that was an offset, whatever.
if you like, I feel like if I didn't forget about, because I kept thinking of sound and I forgot like heat, I might have gone for her, but I don't know. I like Carnage more, but
Look at that
I
Fortnite.
don't know. It's alright, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. But alright, nice. That's it. So we all lost that one. We all lost that.
Goodness
time.
me.
It was either win together or lose together.
And we lost together. I love it.
Okay, so try it. If you like that video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to catch more videos in the future, and comment down below if you want to comment down below any series or video you want us to watch. That said, see ya.
See ya.